So this is the iPhone 17 Pro Max in the cosmic orange, and we're going to do a comparison to the 2-year-old iPhone 15 Pro Max in a speed test. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and let's go ahead and begin with a boot up test in 3, 2, and go, and see which one can get there first. Now, the iPhone 17 Pro Max does have the Apple A19 Pro chip. We are looking at the Apple A17 Pro chip on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And we do have ourselves 8 gigabytes of RAM on the right and 12 gigabytes of RAM on the left. For some reason, these older iPhones have been booting up first over my latest phone. It's been, I don't know what that's about, but the 15 Pro Max turned on a little bit faster than the iPhone 16 or the 17 Pro Max. So that's a little bit of a little weird thing. Maybe it's because the software's, got to be more optimized for these new phones. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get on to the next test. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and do a quick Face ID test, biometrics, and you could see basically identical. Both of them are promotions, so you're not going to really even see many differences in the actual scrolling and anything like that because they are of the same promotion. So let's go ahead and do it one more time, and we are in. So as we go through these devices here, you'll see as I scroll through here on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, glorious 6.9-inch display. You are going up 0.2 inches. It is a bit heavier, a bit bulkier though than the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but generally kind of scrolling through iOS looks pretty good. The animations on some areas do look a little bit weird, so I think Apple does need to refresh and optimize this on some dot releases coming up soon. But debouncing here within the control center area is fine. If I go ahead and add here on pretty much all iPhones in this area, when we start to add a control, this just doesn't look super smooth. It works, but it could look a little bit smoother there. But bringing it over here to the general performance of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, now that we are a couple years in here, it tends to perform at about the same clip as the new phone. So the thing is though, with the 6.7 and the titanium lightweight, this is actually closer in size to the iPhone Air. If I'm being honest with you, this one just feels less bulky than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So if you thought your 15 Pro Max felt great in the hand, you better be prepared because the 17 Pro Max feels definitely more unergonomic, if you will. But generally just kind of scrolling through, the software looks pretty good here. Just like all the other iPhones though, it does have a few animation glitches here and there that should be upgraded with some dot releases of 26. So as you can see right here, we are on 26, 4.24 gigahertz, 12 gigabytes of RAM. So that clock speed is higher over the A17 Pro over here. That is a 3.78 gigahertz and 8 gigabytes of RAM. So let's get on to the app test. All right, guys, so here we are at the app test. Everything closed out for both. Let's go into calendar, pretty much the same. We'll go into clock, a little faster on the left. Calculator, about the same. Animations even look identical. Faster on the left. Games, apps, arcade. We'll head into ChatGPT. It's faster on the left. We'll go into Gemini. Kind of the same. We'll go into Grok. I think that was faster on the left. Copilot. We'll go into YouTube. And YouTube was first on the right. Let's go ahead and click over here. And we'll go to movies and TV. We'll go over here to free. And scrolling, looking about the same. We'll go into X. And faster on the left. You can see that the 17 Pro Max is showing almost no substantial improvement over the iPhone 15 Pro Max when it comes to your daily running through your applications and stuff like that. I do think the 15 Pro Max, if you are playing certain games and you play them for more than 10, 15, 20 minutes, it might throttle a little bit more. It might lower the brightness due to heat. That's where the iPhone 17 Pro Max will feel more like just a more powerful phone. It did launch Subway Surfers first on the left. We'll go into Destiny Rising, a little bit more powerful game here. It will start to feel like a more powerful phone, but you have to push it. I don't just mean like it's to sound like a broken record player. But you have to. You literally have to push it to actually get the benefits from it. You are not getting benefits on your daily app opening. I mean, you're not really getting any benefits on pretty much even any of the newer 17s just for daily app openings, unless you're coming from an older iPhone. We're talking like 13s, 14s maybe, but anything like 16 model series, 15 model series, those are still pretty darn fast. So I think the 3-year upgrade is where you're really going to notice the leap. And you'll notice a substantial leap when it comes to the iPhone 11, 12, those older iPhones. These are going to be some bigger jumps for you. That's not to say that there's not reasons to upgrade. If you found, and this was faster on the right, if you found that your 15 Pro Max gets a little too warm for you, the battery is not what you like, you want more battery life, you want 8x optical zoom with 40 times digital, and you want the center stage camera and you like the orange color and you want a 6.9 display, there are many reasons to do the upgrade. But do you have to at this point? No, you don't. Let's head up out of here and we'll go into PUBG Mobile. And I'm not making this video to convince you not to. I'm just saying we're talking about performance here. So I'm talking about it from a performance perspective. I just mentioned all the reasons why. You probably would, that was faster on the left, you probably would want to upgrade though. Geekbench 6 faster on the right. It's not been updated and optimized yet for 17 Pro Max. We'll go to speed test, kind of the same in shot, very similar. Again, you would have to put my video in slow motion to see the difference. It's pretty darn hard to see. So overall, I'm going to call this slightly to the 17 Pro Max because a couple of more did open first, but it is, I don't even know if I could illustrate this. It's like a crumb. I got to find a crumb somewhere here on the desk, to illustrate how much of a difference it really is. Let's do RAM management here. And that doesn't mean that Apple is not doing enough, because they're doing a lot around the refinement of the phone and adding better battery life thermals. That's in refining the phone. It just means that they've already reached great speeds. But I will say that iOS 26 animations sometimes look a little bit, they are faster, but they look a little bit choppy in some respects. So I would like to see a little bit better performance on some dot releases coming up, but it is very quick now to come out of those applications. Great performance there for the 12 gigs. Let's go ahead and see how the 15 Pro Max stacks up now. We'll go into iMovie, InShot, Speed Test, 3D Mark, Geekbench, Free Fire, PUBG, Call of Duty, RTS, Destiny Rising, Subway Surfers. Look at this thing go. This is no joke. And this is why a lot of people get the pros, because they hold up. They hold up over time. Look at this. Beautiful performance here. Like, why did I even upgrade? Oh, I remember, because I'm doing YouTube tech videos. But if I didn't, I would be like super happy still with my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And here are your final Geekbench 6 results. You can see from a benchmark perspective, the 17 Pro Max is 1,000 points more and substantially more in the multi-core. So yeah, when you start pushing it in the multi-core, you will definitely notice that difference. I have True Tone on. I just noticed that. There's True Tone on this one. Let's go over here and do 3D Mark now. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the Wildlife Extreme to see how much they are different when you actually push them in the graphics department, to see how much frame rates we can get and stuff like that. So I will be back when they are both done with this test. All right, guys, so here we are, and you can see we do have 5996 or 5696 on the left and 2976 on the right. Let me zoom in a bit. We're a little bit far back there. But yeah, let's get in a little bit more. I don't like that rainbowing right there. So you'll see 17.8 FPS. That's like double on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And if you see on the chart here, look at how it sustains that performance, falls off a little bit over here, but this one just right away starts falling off. So scores better than 59% of devices on the market. The iPhone 17 Pro Max does better than 95. I got to put the 17 Pro Max up against the iPad Pro M4 because that was the last time I seen a Apple product just be blowing away most of the competition. So that would be a fun one. But yeah, pretty substantial boost if you are going to be playing some graphically demanding games such as Destiny Rising, Call of Duty, things of that sort. And let's do a quick speed test. We'll start over here with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And you can see that the iPhone 15 Pro Max is not really coming ahead here on the network speed. So if you are looking for more network performance, the 17 Pro Max will actually be a big boost in terms of your actual phone as a phone. People don't ever really talk about this, but Apple has been making strides and improvements in the area of network performance. That's important when you're not connected to Wi-Fi always. Let's do one more thing before we get up out of here. We'll just test those cameras. 3, 2, go. And you can see a little bit quicker on the left. We'll do it again. 3, 2, go. And when we zoom, it shouldn't be substantially different. They both do use the same software here. So kind of zooming through the cameras. No crazy differences there. So camera speeds shouldn't be substantially different, just substantially different results because they are different cameras. So wrapping it up here, the 17 Pro Max, of course, it's a newer phone. It did take down the 15 Pro Max, but by how much? Not too much. I'll check the heat while we're here. The iPhone 15 Pro Max at 104, and this one 3 degrees cooler to the touch. So it hit about 101. So basically a cooler phone to the touch, a more vibrant orange, better camera zoom, better front-facing camera with a little bit better performance in real world, substantially better in gaming and when you push it on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts on these two down below. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.